Warburg in 1920 recorded that photosynthesis in algae is inhibited by the oxygen. This inhibition of photosynthesis occurs in all C3 plants, and this inhibition of the photosynthesis in presence of oxygen was termed as the Warburg effect. The respiration in leaves of C3 species is 2 or 3 times more in light than in dark and causes the release of about 1/4 of carbon dioxide fixed by the photosynthesis simultaneously. Later, Organ and Bowes unraveled the double role of enzyme RUBP carboxylase or the Rubisco enzyme. Under normal conditions, the Rubisco enzyme catalyzes the fixation of carbon dioxide and forms two molecules of phosphoglyceric acid. But under conditions such as high temperature and high oxygen to carbon ratio or high oxygen and low carbon dioxide ratio, the enzyme is unable to catalyze carbon dioxide fixation. Instead, the oxygen successfully competes with carbon dioxide and RUBP carboxylase or Rubisco switches to the oxygenase activity. As a result, a 2-carbon phosphoglycolic acid and a 3-carbon phosphoglyceric acid are formed. The phosphoglyceric acid is then metabolized to yield the carbon dioxide. This metabolism of phosphoglycolate is an oxidation process like respiration and occurs in presence of light only. Hence, this cycle is called as photorespiration. As the first stable compound form, that is the phosphoglyceric acid, is an 2-carbon compound, this cycle is also called as C2 cycle. The light-induced carbon dioxide liberation from a 2-carbon intermediate compound is called as photorespiration. Here, the carbohydrate is oxidized to glycolate and then metabolized back to carbohydrate with the loss of the carbon dioxide, and there is a considerable expenditure of energy in form of the ATP. The photorespiration occurs in C3 plants and CAM plants. When the temperatures are high, the ratio of dissolved oxygen in chloroplast to the dissolved carbon dioxide in the chloroplast is higher than when the temperatures are low. So, the oxygen fixation by Rubisco occurs faster and photorespiration then indirectly slows down the growth. Photorespiration is also light dependent because the RUBP requires the assimilatory powers, that is ATP and NADPH2. As we know, these both assimilatory powers are light dependent products. They are produced during the light reaction of the photosynthesis. Furthermore, the light causes release of oxygen from the water in the chloroplast during the photolysis of water. So, this increases the chloroplast oxygen levels, and this leads to the photorespiration. The photorespiration is absent in C4 plants because, as we know, in the C4 plants, the Rubisco and Calvin cycle enzymes are present only in the bundle sheet cells. This Rubisco is absent in the mesophyll cells of the C4 plants, and as the Rubisco is away from the atmospheric oxygen, there is no photorespiration detected in the C4 plants. And also, the carbon dioxide concentration in the bundle sheet cells of the C4 plant is maintained too high for oxygen to compete with the carbon dioxide, and this high concentration of carbon dioxide is maintained by rapid decarboxylation of malic acid, which is transferred from the mesophyll cells to the bundle sheet cells. And because of these reasons, the C4 plants do not show the photorespiration. The photorespiration occurs in three different organelles together, that is chloroplast, peroxisomes and mitochondria. The initial reaction occurs in chloroplast. So in presence of oxygen, the RUBP or ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate is oxidized in presence of enzyme Rubisco, which undergoes the oxygenase activity to form one molecule of 2-phosphoglycolic acid and one molecule of 3-phosphoglyceric acid. The 3-phosphoglyceric acid then enters into the C3 cycle and forms the hexose sugar. The 2-phosphoglycolic acid is then dephosphorylated in presence of enzyme phosphatase, forming the glycolic acid. The glycolic acid is the primary substrate for the respiration, photorespiration. It is synthesized in chloroplast and then it is transported to the peroxisomes. Peroxisomes are present in chlorophyllous tissues. In the peroxisomes, the glycolic acid is oxidized by molecular oxygen taken from the atmosphere to form glyoxylic acid and hydrogen peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide is then broken down into water and oxygen in presence of enzyme catalase. The glyoxylic acid is then converted to glycine by transamination with the help of the glutamic acid. So transaminase enzyme helps in this transamination of the glycine and forms the glycine and the alpha ketoglutarate acid. Now the glycine enters into the mitochondria from the peroxisomes, and the two glycine molecules, they form one molecule of the serine with the help of enzyme glycine decarboxylase. So here the glycine molecule also undergoes decarboxylation and releases one molecule of carbon dioxide, and NADH2 is also formed. So thus the glycine acts as the immediate source of carbon dioxide that is released in the photorespiration. The serine that is formed in the mitochondria then enters into the peroxisomes, and there it undergoes transamination with the help of alpha ketoglutarate acid to form the hydroxypyruvate and the glutamate. The enzyme serine aminotransferase catalyzes this reaction. The hydroxypyruvate is then reduced to glycerate in presence of NADH2. Hydroxypyruvate reductase enzyme catalyzes this reaction and glyceric acid is formed. Lastly, the glyceric acid re-enters into the chloroplast, and in the chloroplast this glyceric acid is phosphorylated in presence of ATP by enzyme glycerate kinase to form 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So, for every 4 carbon that are utilized due to the RUBP oxidation during the photorespiration, 1 molecule of 3-phosphoglyceric acid and 1 molecule of carbon dioxide are formed, and these are utilized in the Calvin cycle, thereby helping in the regeneration of the hexose sugar. The significance of photorespiration is that it is believed that the process of photorespiration removes excess ATP and NADP H2 produced at high light intensities, so that they do not cause damage to the pigments of chloroplast. During photorespiration, the amino acid like glycine and serine are also produced, so they act as a precursors for many metabolites like the proteins and nucleotides.